Hello, and thank you for showing interest on how to crochet Jasmine stitch beanie. First, what is Jasmine stitch? Jasmine stitch is just combination of puff stitches connected together to make a flower or star. Jasmine stitch actually is known as a star stitch or flower stitch. This stitch can be used for anything. Can it be used for blankets? It's very nice, both sides the same texture. It's soft, and in this case we will be working with rounds instead of rows like for blankets. This beanie I started from the bottom up, but I also make beret, and in beret I actually started from the top to the bottom, and I can show you both ways, depends what you want to do. To me it's much easier to work beret from the top and beanies from the bottom up. So before part one, how to make this beanie, it's very crucial that you practice doing puff stitch. Before we get to the part one, how to make this Jasmine stitch beanie, I would like you to practice puff stitches if you're not familiar with the puff stitch. To make a puff stitch, you start like with any other crochet project with the slip knot. Now you will chain one. You pull your yarn up to the height of your petal or your star that you would like to have. Now yarn over, go back to chain one and pull your hook through and pull the yarn through to the same height. You have 3 loops on your hook. You repeat this process. So you go back to chain one, pull through, you have 5 loops, and let's make one more. Yarn over, go through the first chain, pull the yarn through, and you have 7 chains. Now to close the 7 chain stitch, you can make 9, you can make 5, depends on the weight of your yarn. You hold this working yarn here with your finger, kind of you pinch the yarn, and then you pull the yarn through all the loops without letting go of that yarn. Now go back through this loop with your hook and pull yarn through again. In the end, you want to have 2 loops, and now you pull yarn through to close the stitch. So this is your first puff stitch. You see chain one, you see your puff, and your closing looks kind of like single crochet stitch. Your second puff stitch, you will be working the same way, only instead of putting to chain one, you will go here between the stitch. This is the same principle like we were using chain one in the beginning. So you pull your yarn up to the height, you take the yarn over, go back to the stitch, and pull the yarn through the stitch to the same height. So I have 3 loops. I repeat this process, go back, pull through. I have 5 loops, and repeat one more time. I have 7 loops. You hold the working yarn for a moment just to close and pull through all the loops. Now go back with your hook, pull through, and pull through again to close the stitch. So you have 2 puff stitches right now, and that's what we will start our work with, the puff stitches as a beginning row for this beanie. But how I said, before we start this beanie, let's practice puff stitches. So again, up to the height I want, yarn over, go between the stitch, pull through, one more time, 5 and 7. Hold the yarn, pull through, go back, pull through, 2 loops, and close the stitch. This will be our foundation chain for the beanie. Have a great practice, and I will see you how to make this beanie in part 1. Thank you.